and walk around the map, or will they be able to kind of hold off and then get towards that mid game themselves where they can try and take down some of these heroes? I don't think this draft is too one-sided going into this game, so I'm excited to see how it pans out.
I am too. The thing I'm a little worried about for Riyadh Chefs is that they are incredibly cooldown reliant. It's going to get less so once Earthshaker gets into like an Aghanim Scepter, but it's going to be a while until he gets to that stage. Nice deep ward placed early on, and this is what I was talking about, right? The level 1 contest, making sure to cut down as many of those trees as possible. Quest don't exactly have the weakest level 1. They're quite strong.
Yeah, they're going to try and contest this here. TA2000 is going to go in the back with the Sakuchi. Who do they try and put their attention on towards first? Looks like it is going to be on the Monster Kill, and unfortunately for the Phoenix, has no way to dive away. Gets a lot of damage out with the Fiery Spirits, with the Blood Grenade as well. They're going to turn a little bit of this damage back, but PSG Quest, they just get themselves a freebie here.
This is what I was talking about, right? They know, so you adapt, and then they adapt accordingly, but I mean, probably not expecting that Observer Board to just give them complete vision positioning there. Make sure to get onto one of the squishier heroes in either the Skyreth Mage or the Phoenix.
Yeah, it was a really smart play from TA2000 using the Sakuchi and the smoke move speed to be able to get down there as fast as he did to be able to get that ward down. So, Quest did a really, really good job at putting themselves in a position, and now they open up with a first Bloody Blood. So, it feels very nice for them, especially in a lane where you've got a Dream Protector and a Weaver. Weaver is one of those heroes that I think if gets off to a really, really big start and starts getting some of those early stat items and some of those early damage, will really bully out a hero like this Skywrath Mage.
Even gets a D-Ward off in the lane, does Cowrie, so he's doing real good so far. Sentry Ward just out of range of the one place down as well, so just like looking like being a real good lane for TA2000.
Yeah, they got a good block as well. But towards the top side, seems like that is where Monster Kill is going to try and put a lot of this effort on towards Omar. It does have the Bramble Mazes early on, so it's not like they're going to be able to sit there and trade with Monster Kill, but wants to try and get a courier. Monster Kill wants it, the second Bramble. Oh, it's too far in front. He is going to go down as well, because Malik is just going to be able to walk in, get these auto attacks going, has the Hoostomp up and available, and a few more auto attacks, they get it done. Malik with the first blood, and the old courier bait. Sometimes you see it and you think, oh, this is such an easy courier kill, and then you get baited into your death, and no movement abilities, bird.
Yeah, for sure. Really can't be looking to make that sort of play until he's level 2. He hasn't actually got a lick of experience yet on the Phoenix, just picking it up now in the lane. Mid lane, though, again, this is probably going to be attacker favorite on the Earthshaker. The downside, of course, is that a big part of that first blood gives so much valuable experience over to Noob. You know, it's just about reducing the cooldown of that swashbuckle early on, making sure that he's able to secure a lot of these range creeps.
That was a nifty little play there from attacker. Fisher blocked off Noob and then body blocked him, and he copped a couple more tower hits than what he really should have. So this lane is going really, really well for Noob so far, up the back of that extra lick of experience that he was able to get. I think the biggest thing for me is attacker just doesn't have that many denies coming in against Topanga, just because you are able to spam out quite a lot of these spells against the Earthshaker. Yes, you do have Enchant Totem for some of the last hitting, but it's not really as able as securing them as everybody else's would have been.
Yeah, for sure. I think you're not really going to stop Noob from getting too many last hits. I just really don't think that Noob should be getting many denies at all, which he hasn't so far.
Good landing stage so far. Checking in towards the bottom side. Owned Me doing pretty well for himself. I mean, he's 3-0. He's not doing that great, but at least they haven't died once again. And early on here for PSG Quest, we already touched on it in the draft, right? Like this Weaver versus and Dream Protector lane is going to be very, very strong. And unfortunately for TA2000, loses the courier there to Menu.
Yeah, I mean, in Tidehunter, it does resolve issues with the Riyadh Chefs draft that I was talking about, but it doesn't exactly give the strongest lane, right? When we see for example, a Weaver and a Tidehunter lane, that's incredibly strong. All of that minus armor, you would have an incredibly good job against the likes of a Treant Protector. You just stay away from the Leech Seed. Feels incredibly good. Same sort of thing with a Snapfire. Just anyone that's able to use a lot of that minus armor from the Gush really does provide a lot of full threat and effectiveness, but it really doesn't feel like Menu's getting too much out of it.
Yeah, they haven't really been able to, abuse and utilize the Skywrath Mage just yet. So hopefully Menu gets some of these levels, and maybe somewhere towards like level 4, maybe Power Rune time, head towards the mid lane for attacker and try and link up with his Earthshaker. And that's why I was, touching on before this game started about I feel like Attacker really kind of needs to be the linchpin for the Riyadh chefs, right? It feels like he needs to be the one that tries to link up with all of these side laners, get some of these kills early on, and gets a lot of the experience into his supports who both of them need a lot of experience, right? Like, you really want to have level 6 as fast as possible on Phoenix, and kind of the same thing's true for the Skywrath mage.
Yeah, absolutely. I really just want to highlight how good of a job Cowrie's doing in this lane. Nice Ancient Seal to be able to prevent the slows coming out, but is it going to be enough to be able to protect Own Me? I don't know if it will.
Yeah, they've got another Geminate attacker as well. Own Me is going to cop the punches there from Kaori, who, as you said, is doing a fantastic job so far. He's going to cop a lot of damage from Menu, but Menu completely out of mana here, Matt. So Kaori is going to be A-OK and is going to walk that one off.
Menu playing in the MENA region. Fitting.
Nice little start. I like it. I like when there's some good namesakes floating around. Feels good. But Own Me's back.
He needs to spend. Yeah, I don't know if
that's
this
bugs,
is,
and that's some clicks. TA2000, there's no mana left on Menu, so worst case scenario, Own Me... Oh, he goes down to the final auto attack of the Geminate attack. I was going to say, worst case scenario, Owned Me is now down to 10% HP, and he has to just stand there in the lane as TA2000 gets all the last instance he wants.
I was about to say Menu needs to spend his gold. He's holding on to 630 gold right now. No boots, no mana regen, nothing at all coming out for him, and he's just copping a few right clicks himself from TA2000. I wouldn't be surprised to see him just get a casual Blightstone, because it really is causing this Tide Hunter and Skywrath Mage a lot of grief.
Yeah, speaking of grief, unfortunately mid lane, Attacker goes down. Kaori was able to make that rotation towards the middle lane now that TA2000 is well and truly happy in this bottom side of the map. And PSG Quest, this is kind of the answer to the question that I posed at the top of the show, right, man? It was I really wanted to see PSG Quest come into this qualifier and kind of just throw everybody to the wayside until they got to Falcons. I think if they get into that series, that's when things are really going to change. But speaking of top side, Monster Kill, oh so low. The Brambles damage wasn't enough there to be able to take down the Phoenix, and Kridos, oh, does he have the Time Walk? He does. That was a risky...
Iron Me's about to die again.
Very efficient play.
Yeah, he's fine.
Okay.
Just gets away.
And this is where you can see, you're looking at the last instance denies. It's all PSG Quest calls. Like, there is obviously Attacker that's going to be sitting there, but you can see it's going to get to the point now where it's going to be too hard for any of these calls to sit on any of these lanes, and players like TA2000 as well as Malik are just going to be able to sit freely in these side lanes and do whatever they want.
Yep. Speaking of TA2000, just gets a bunch of raindrops delivered to him, so both wants to get aggressive, but it also enables him to just be left solo in this lane if they want, and that is kill number 3 that they're able to get onto Own Me.
Yeah, this is starting to look kind of depressing in this bottom side. It's kind of what you said, right? It really does feel like that Tidehunter solves some of their issues, doesn't solve their laning phase issue, though. Attacker's going to try and get something on the board for the
he's going
Riyadh
to kill
chefs.
Menu. He's diving.
Oh, no. Underneath the tier 1 tower at 6 minutes into the game, TA2000 gets that kill. He's silenced up, but unfortunately Owned Me is only level 3, Matt. And that means that he's really not able to provide much. Malik will then be able to get the kill onto Monster Kill in the top lane after rotation from Noob. This is PSG Quest just kind of taking over the game. I think this is looking very dire for Riyadh chefs if this game continues on this trajectory.
Yeah, for sure. I honestly... I mean, the lane's in a really good position for Own Me at least, so he should be able to stay here for the next little bit. I almost want to see him be the one to get this this Wisdom Rune, just to be able to recover a little bit of that net worth and experience.
Yeah, he needs something. They need to send something his way. See whether or not they feel like that's going to be worth or not, because it feels like everybody's kind of bleeding at this point. Mid lane, this could be another potential death for the side of the Riyadh chefs. Attacker gets hit with the Cursed Crown. The auto attack is going to go through. Noob's going to have another swashbuckle. Misses completely, but still has enough damage to be able to get the kill there onto Attacker.
They're doing A-OK.
Yeah, they're doing fine.
No one actually claiming the Wisdom Rune just yet from the Riyadh chef side. And like I was expecting, just going for that minus armor build on TA2000. Both enables him to be a legitimate threat to, again, these uber squishy supports in the Skywrath and the Phoenix, but on top of that as well, enables a little bit of more of that tower taking potential on the back of a successful team fight. And, I was mentioning with Riyadh chefs that they do have quite cooldown reliant lineup, and well, at least they get the first kill onto Malik through the rotation coming through from Attacker. But yeah, I'm really just feeling like it's going to reach a point where Quest, they've already got a 4k net worth lead, and they're just going to be able to keep running at Riyadh Chefs soon enough.
Oh, Noob's going to snipe Menu. Oh, he got the slow with the concussive shot, and now with the Ancient Seal, is he going to try and get it with a swash? No. All right. I thought Noob was going to try and do like a 360 no-scope montage there, but unfortunately doesn't hit it. But yeah, exactly. You know, they get something out of the kill onto Malik on the top side, but they may lose another. He's dead. He's just dead. That's very sad to watch.
Not ideal.
This Tidehunter. It's like I've been in this position plenty of times, purely out of my own mistakes rather than anything else. But it is very depressing being an offlaner, and there's not much they can really do for you, because it's like, do they want to put a lot of these resources into an offlaner like a Tidehunter who, if you make some stacks for him, yes, that's the resources you want to put into him. That's when he can come back. But it's like, do you just kind of leave this whole lane to a Weaver who, I mean, is already having the freest of times? Do you just kind of leave him in a completely uncontested lane?
Yeah, I mean, and it's not even like with the Skywrath Mage is able to make a lot of those stacks easily for them. I mean, look at how deep some of these wards are as well. Omar's placed one incredibly deep. Might be able to just use the Courier to be able to scout out this high ground, so that's a nice little bit of free experience for Menu.
Yeah, so he at least gets one of them. But yeah, it's exactly as you said, right? Like, these deep wards from Omar have been so good. And even Kaori's just like, the fact that they had this early start for the Weaver means that TA2000 is one of these heroes that can kind of stick in the lane by himself. Speaking of TA2000, they're going to go on him in the bottom side. Do they have the damage? The Echo Slam, it's not there. Attacker doesn't have it. He gets the time lapse off as well, and TA2000, this is where the horn will be sounded for Gondor. They will come down and help out their Weaver. Menu's here as well, so this might not just be a freebie, but Noob in the backline goes directly onto the Skywrath Mage, who will lose their life quick and easily to Noob. And eventually Owned Me will go down to a few more of these auto attacks, and that was almost a beautiful rotation. Noob catches out Attacker, who just makes his own way. Oh, that is an awkward spot to be stuck for a Pangolier. It doesn't matter, because Kaori is there with the overgrowth, and a dominating spree for the POS 5.
Yeah, Kaori is playing a fantastic game. I mean, ever since the laning stage, he's just been on point every step of the way. And it's only going to get worse now. I mean, off the back of that successful team fight, Noob just got the Blade of Alacrity delivered, and he's 100 gold away from the Diffusal. Oh, never mind, he's got it.
Yeah, that's kind of nuts that it's now Orb of Corrosion Diffusal at 11 minutes in. TA2000 has Dragonlance and is, what, 1,500 gold, less than that, 1,300 gold away. And fortunately for Monster Kill, really wants to try and get this egg off. Does get it down, and Malik, they haven't been able to get the clicks into the egg. And that will just mean that with the Stampede, they will walk away from this fight. So PSG
That's just
Quest,
one of those big cooldowns that they don't have, right? They know the Ravage isn't available. They know that there's no Supernova. You've got, not quite yet, the Desolator on TA2000, but, I mean, Diffusal is a timing in and of itself, especially if you're able to get it 11 minutes in.
Yeah, exactly. So they can just kind of link up with these four heroes and use their low cooldowns. But that's a nice little Crotus here coming in there from Kritos. Does get on top of Omar, gets the stun with the Fissure as well. But how much damage do they have? It's all about who they lose on the crack back. Kaori could potentially lose his life as well. Has a dominating streak, as you did say. So it's going to be a lot of damage, a lot of gold actually going in the hands of Attacker. Well, who will just drop that for the Treant Protector. They want to try and get this kill into Malik. I don't know if they can. He has a full Reaver.
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, I think he just picked it up. So, Malik, he's got a lot of HP to play with, and being close to this Tier 1 tower, they do want to leave it out. Or TA2000's here. They've also got Noob, who's coming in from the sidelines as well, ready and waiting with this Diffusal Blade. The Rolling Thunder's going to come in directly on top of the Earthshaker. That's the one they want to try and get. The kill they would like to have is the Earthshaker, and Menu goes down in the backside as well. Oh, that was very close there from Omar. Almost
trying to get them on the escape there as well, next to the Twin Gate, but Omar not quite landing it. But it's just, the map is shrinking at an incredibly rapid rate. I mean, they've even still got the siege creep for the top lane, and they used a glyph to be able to try and protect things for a little bit longer. So we might even see a Tier 2 get some legitimate threat in onto it.
Especially with the sub 300 gold needed for TA2000's Desolator, right? So you've got a DD rune up. Now on to Noob. He's getting closer and closer to that Manta style. And the question is, how do Riyadh Chefs really trying to control this? They've got a lot of these beautiful team fight ultimates, right? But they've got such big cooldowns.
Yep.
They found Kritos. Okay, they're not going to aggress onto the Faceless Void just yet, but it is so hard for Riyadh Chefs to try and defend these towers because they just don't have the cooldown. And
even then, like, you don't have you're down 10k net worth 13.5 minutes in, and now TA2000, he's finished up the Desolator. He's got it coming out on the courier. I mean, Cowrie's loving life. He's like, man, I wish I could buy my Aghanim Shard. I've got plenty able to do it. It's just too early. They're even going to yoink away this Wisdom Rune too, man.
Yeah, they've smoked up for it. They want to see if they can try and get some kills out of this. Onmi is ready and waiting in the sidelines, but he gets overgrowth, so they have to throw the Ravage down on towards the egg. I don't think they have enough.
10.
Can they do it with the auto attacks? The Fish is there in time, but Kaori punches down the Phoenix. And now with the Rolling Thunder coming in from Noob, all these big teamfight ultis have been used and they don't get any kills out of it. Me is the next one on the menu. And speaking of menu, he has Noob in front of him. The Swashbuckle takes him down. Attacker gets found in the trees. He does a lot of damage back towards Omar, but he's standing here and waiting for TA2000 to just leave him be. They get the kill onto Omar, but they don't get the extra kill onto the Weaver. And that just means that PSG Quest will claim 4 and lose 1.
And they'll get the Wisdom Rune as well on top of everything. It just felt like things were the tiniest bit disconnected, right? Just the fast movement speed of the Weaver was able to avoid the Ravage, so plenty of those Geminate attacks were able to take out the Phoenix Egg. The Earthshaker still had 10-15 seconds left on the Echo Slam cooldown, and Faceless Void joining in at the very end wasn't able to land the Chronosphere, partly because he ended up time walking into a Bram, so just everything going wrong right now for the Riyadh Chefs.
Yeah, it really does kind of compound upon itself, and unfortunately now for Monster Kill, he got found in the trees, and with a heart on a Centaur at 15 minutes into the game, you're kind of going to scratch him off the list of killable characters.
Mm-hmm. What are you supposed to do against this, man?
I don't know. I really don't know, and I hope that maybe the Riyadh Chefs can try and find something, but unfortunately for them, Ownby is being found out by Kaori. Beautiful
I don't think they have the damage
They're
here.
waiting in towards the
Level
sidelines,
5 on
but
menu,
Krios,
man.
he has no damage to get the kills, and with the Mask of Madness, he can't even jump away. There was a beautiful positioning there from Omar, just pump faking the Terrorize. And they will just disconnect.
Yeah, maybe they kill something if they have the level 6 on the Skywrath Mage, but he's still not got it.
He's only level 5.
Yeah.
It's 15 minutes in. They're putting a lot of damage towards TA2000 though, so he has to be careful. But now they're rolling in with the Rolling Thunder.
Who has to be careful?
3-piece so far. And PSG Quest are just running over the top of the Riyadh Chefs. And Matt, if I was a betting man, I'd say this game's going to be over very, very quickly, especially with Malik, who is now chasing down Monster Kill as well in towards that mid lane. The Phoenix almost gets caught. Noob has found him after the dive. Okay, he's not going to go too deep inside of the base, and PSG Quest will leave him be for now, but this is not good. 1k per minute, Matt, and over all my years of casting Dota 2, that has been the benchmark. That has been the benchmark of an absolute stomp. And
yeah, absolutely. I mean, you even got a full Yasha coming out as well for TA2000. I wouldn't hate to see an Aghanim Shard be purchased up by Malik as well. I don't mind the pipe choice that he's going towards. They've got plenty of magic damage that he would love to try and mitigate a little bit for the rest of his team. But I think he could just become an enormous boy if he ends up going for that really early Aghanim Shard.
Yeah, just be that massive nuisance and just kind of do so much damage as you go into these fights. So we'll see what Malik wants to do. See whether or not he's going to go towards that Aghanim Shard route, or whether or not, you know, I feel like there's a lot of these Aghanim Shards that can really just kind of end this game, right? Like even looking at TA2000's, like the amount of damage that he's going to be able to do just coming outside of Sakuchi.
Oh man, poor Monster Kill. He just put down that Observer Ward, and Cowrie, oh, never mind, he gives the gem over to Malik, and well, that's probably one of the earliest gem purchases I can remember, and they are just using it to completely suffocate the map.
You know, maybe a few years ago you're probably seeing early gems, but it has been a very, very long time since teams have been doing this, and seems like PSG Quest, they want to try and end this game. They haven't set their attention towards Roche just yet because they want some kills here. Monster Kill goes directly into the egg, and they used literally nothing for that. There was no big cooldowns that got utilized for that Phoenix egg, and with the Supernova down, I mean, you just walk into these tier 2 towers, right, Matt? You just, you know, dot your I's, cross your T's, and you would just continue to close down this map for PSG Quest. Like, Kritos, he's not even close to a Maelstrom. He needs Maelstrom plus probably a BKB plus another, like, damage or attack speed item. And then you might start thinking towards being able to kill things with the Chronosphere.
it needs to be the perfect team fight, and they can't even afford to, well, Attacker's dead again. They can't even afford to glyph any of these remaining tier 2 towers. You've already used one, you lost one tower, now two, so it's going to be very easy for them to just go up high ground and take away some of that high ground tower defense soon enough.
Yeah, exactly. They just...
What do you even go? Like, does Onmi go an Aghanim Shard or something like that? But then, how does he actually get in range to be able to land that anchor onto either the Pango or the Weaver?
That's sort of question is like, maybe do you just go for like the poor man's Blink and the Force Staff? But even then, that feels bad. Like, it's only a smaller amount of positioning, and it's not like that instant catch like a Blink Dagger is, right? So
yeah, I think he needs like the Blink Aghanim Shard is enough. I just really don't think he's going to get enough money for that anytime soon. I mean, he's already for the shard if he wanted to buy it right now, but it just feels so rough. Maybe they can go for a real big gamble and in 1 minute try and tell you've already purchased the Aghanim Shard on the Phoenix, and I mean that'd at least get him a Blink Dagger plus a shard, and maybe then they can take a team fight. But it's looking rough. They're just going to look to go ahead and claim this this first Roshan. Just make sure that one of the biggest counters to the Chronosphere is available to them in the Aegis of the Immortal.
yeah, I mean it's very simple gameplay it seems here for PSG Quest, right? Like they just set themselves up with really strong lanes. They kind of put the Riyadh chefs on the back foot, basically from, I'd imagine, it was basically like the 5-6 minute mark where I saw there was like a 4-5k kind of deficit already. And then from there, they just got together, they made sure they made good movements around the map, they just kept people safe where they needed to, and now they're just taking all the towers, taking all the objectives, and this is what we touched on at the top of the show, right, is what do these teams look like against a team like PSG Quest, who have been on the international stage for many years right now and have a lot of that experience being able to clinically close out games.
I mean, a lot of people are pushing in towards this top. We want to see Monster Kill just, even if it means him dying, just put a little bit of focus on maybe putting some pressure onto this mid-tier 1 tower, force them to have to take a backward step, but seems like he's just keen to try and defend this tower. They've got the Chrono, they've got the Echo Slam available, and a double damage on Attacker, and they actually get the smoke off before the tower goes down. We'll have to wait and see. They'd love to catch Noob at the start of this fight.
Onmi has picked up a Blink Dagger, so he has just revealed that now to TA2000. We'll see what this fight is going to look like. Everybody is smoked up. Kritos, though, has to try and deal with this mid lane. He wants to try and keep himself under the guise of the smoke, though.
I love Malik's positioning there. Like, he was just farming in the neutral camps on the bottom side, revealing that, well, actually, is Onmi just going to die?
Oh, they need to try and do something for this. They're going to come in with a big Echo Slam on the back. They haven't done that much damage, though, and Kritos goes in. He misses everybody. He only gets Attacker. Oh, man, it's gone from bad to worse, and now they're just losing their cause. The Riyadh chefs, this is going to be a quick one. Just put them out of their misery. I think the Ravage is good, but there's no damage left. TA2000 is just going to time-lapse himself away. Still has the Aegis of the Immortal. Beautiful swashbuckle from Noob, and everybody is dead. Yes, it's a buyback from Attacker. It's only into a dieback, and we're going to call GG at 20 minutes into this game, Matt. There was signs. There was a small bit of movement coming in from the Riyadh chest, but Kritos hitting absolutely nobody with a Chronosphere was the final nail in the coffin for me.